Hi there, this is Lisa with 50flowers.com and
Mariah, our in-house designer.
And what we want to talk about today is when you order Phalaenopsis orchids, how are they going to arrive? And one of our partner farms sent us this awesome box, right? And we're going to open it. Well, we kind of already opened it because we just couldn't wait. However, the first thing you're going to have is a plastic strap that is going to be on the outside of your box. And basically what you will do is just use some scissors to cut that. Secondly, you use that X-Acto knife.
Yeah, this little box cutter. And when you're cutting into your box, you want to make sure you don't go down too deep because you don't know how close to the top here your flowers are going to be. Just packaging is different from box to box, so just be careful because you could accidentally slice a flower open.
Oh, we wouldn't want to do that, right?
No.
So, our farms, when they go to pack, they're very green. And when I say green, they're gonna reuse newspaper just because it is absorbent of the water. So, you're just gonna
it keeps the moisture in the paper and keeps it at the right humidity level for a tropical flower like these orchids.
Totally. And it also gives you some entertainment. You can read the
everything that's gone on months ago.
I know, months ago. So, inside the box, there are going to be your boxes. And if you look here, this box is going to have an arrow that says this way up. And we'll tell you why, right? Here in a bit. So, you ready to open? Look here. Inside the box, there is all of this, almost like Easter.
Yeah, it
shredded.
looks like Easter grass, but it's shredded wax paper.
You know all of that grass that you get in your...
So you can reuse it.
Yeah. And then buried within here are your blooms, your stems.
Yeah.
So if you see here, that's where your stems are, and they're all going to be packed within each other. And what's really important is on the bottom of here, you're going to have, can you see that? I hope you can. You see, here are your water tubes. This is what's important. What you're going to do is you're going to very quickly
you're going to inspect your flowers.
Yeah.
Inspect them. Don't pull the grass too aggressively because you could accidentally, again, damage your flowers by pulling them because they're really nestled in there. And we're going to look at the water levels on these water tubes and make sure that they're at least 3/4 of the way up because we're going to store them in the water tubes, in the box, exactly how they are right now. We're going to put the lid back on them and we're going to put them in like a dark closet. You know, someplace that's doesn't have a lot of airflow, doesn't have a lot of heat or direct sunlight until the day that I'm going to design.
And that day should be more or less,
like if I was doing a wedding on a Saturday and I got these on a Thursday, I would put these in until about Friday afternoon and I would start designing about Friday evening, afternoon time for a Saturday event.
okay. And then another important point on these is just because as a novice, I'm going in here and I'm digging, right?
Yeah.
And you have to be really careful because Phalaenopsis orchids are extremely delicate. And every touch, you're not going to see the damage that you did immediately. It's going to come on,
Exactly when you don't want it to.
Exactly. So don't touch the blooms. Your fingers have oils, right?
And they can bruise the petals. They're sensitive to touch.
They're really sensitive to touch.
Yeah.
And we're going to have some tips and tricks for you here a little bit later. If, say, right before you walk down the aisle or right before you deliver an arrangement, if they look sleepy, we're going to do a tip and trick on that, but we're not going to do that right now.
Yeah.
I mean, Mariah, you're the expert on all of this.
This is what I do.
You got your, you put your time in the flower store, right?
Yeah.
Okay, is there anything else?
No.
Should we show how to, let's show
Package
how
it back up.
Well, let's show them how to take off the
Water tubes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
water
if you hold it up there. So these water tubes are taped in at the bottom here, and all you have to do is just pull them off the stem. You just take the lid off and dunk it into a bucket of water, fill it back up, put your lid back on, and I will give the stem a 45-degree angle cut, and I will put the tube back on, and that cut is just gonna make sure all the cells are open and drinking all the water they need to. And then I'm just gonna lightly tape it back down, and we're gonna put this grass back on.
Yeah. Oh, and you know one other thing that we forgot to mention, the ideal temperature of that closet where you're gonna store them.
Super important.
It's 50 to 60 degrees.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, roughly in there, because these come from a tropical area naturally, so they're not gonna wanna be in that 40-degree wet temperature that we keep the rest of our flowers in. They will do just fine in 50 to 60, which is probably roughly what your house temp is gonna be anyways. So,
Especially in the deep, dark dungeon basement
yeah,
closet,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so there we go. And we'll just put this back up. And as you see, it has the up arrow, so that's the way that you will store them. You'll just stand them straight up, and they'll be fine for a day and a half
Yep.
for you to
Yep.
start arranging. Okay, perfect. Thank you.